Happy Halloween, everyone. This is Rob Kelly, host of Fade Out, Citizen Kane Minute, the Film and Water Podcast, and other shows here on the Fire and Water Podcast Network. And this is another installment of Admit One. If you're like me, you probably have 17 different streaming service queues all vying for your attention. I literally have a lifetime's worth of movies to watch and rewatch, and sometimes just deciding on something, anything, can be really hard. And then, out of nowhere, in old movie services, and you wonder, where has this been my whole life? That was the case with the 1960 horror gem City of the Dead, known in the trailer you're about to watch as Horror Hotel. Let's check in, shall we? I don't know why they opened with the word welcome twice here, but don't let this relatively unremarkable trailer dissuade you. City of the Dead / Horror Hotel, the more lurid US title, is a really inventive, unusual little movie. The legendary Christopher Lee, the only real recognizable face in the film, plays a college professor teaching a course about witchcraft. One of his students, Nan Barlow, played by Venetia Stevenson, who soon retired from acting and went on to, among other things, becoming Axl Rose's mother-in-law, wants to do research on her term paper. Lee suggests that she visit a small Massachusetts town that has a history of burning witches, and there the trouble starts. There's a creepy hotel manager, played by Patricia Jessel, who insists to Nan that, don't worry, there's nothing under the floorboard stair room. Why are you even asking? No matter where Nan goes, the townspeople stop what they're doing and stare at her, never saying a word. Also never saying a word is the mute hotel maid, who tries to let Nan know that she should not be here. City of the Dead was directed by John Llewellyn Moxey, who did a lot of TV as well as 1966's Psycho Circus, also with Lee. He brings an astonishing amount of dread to the proceedings, and he is helped immeasurably by the screenplay by George Baxt and Milton Subotsky, who went on to produce dozens of more famous horror and sci-fi films. City of the Dead takes a really interesting turn at one point, so unexpected that I had a hard time believing that it wasn't a fake out or a dream or some sort of cheat. But it isn't, and at that point I realized pretty much anything could happen in this movie. I'm a sucker for films about nightmare towns where everyone seems to be in on the scam and it's up to our hero to figure that out before it's too late. This trailer gives away some things it shouldn't, but of course the ad department really wasn't worried about that. It features some terrific performances and a nice go-for-broke ending. Languishing in obscurity for many years, it has since been rediscovered and is now on Blu-ray. If you haven't seen City of the Dead, give it a watch. It's a town worth visiting.